Oh. Okie dokie. So I guess we are live today. Today has been a day. I guess is the best way to say it. It has really been a day. So, y'all know on Tuesday my husband was working on my big direct garment printer. You know, it was having some issues. Well, now the issues have gotten worse. So much worse. So we're buying a new machine. So, you know, as I said, if it can, it will. Today is just not, it's not a bad day. But anytime you're deciding to drop $25,000 on anything is kind of crazy. Hold on just for a second. Hello? I am. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bye. Sorry. That was my mother-in-law. We're getting all the paperwork and stuff together, so I can't ignore phone calls. So, anyways, it's been a day. You know, spending lots of money is never fun. Spending lots of money in the middle of a pandemic is even less fun. But, you know, it's one of those machines we use all the time and we have to do it. So, yay. Yeah, 25,000 calling. It is what it is. We're getting the newer version of the same printer we have, which it's 6 years old. We have had it for 6 years. And we have used it to death. Absolutely to death. So, I'm glad everybody's here. So, I don't know. I forgot to mention it yesterday. And maybe even Tuesday. This week's weekly wow sale is the flock. And I have some of the pieces. Yeesh. I got vinyl. I got stuff sitting like literally everywhere. So, this is some of the colors in it. This is the Columbia blue. I need to pull my book. My book that tells me everything, because Lord knows there's 20,000 colors that I don't remember. Oh yeah, like we use that thing all the time. We typically, especially during football season, we print 20 to 40 shirts on it per day. So it's crazy amounts of use that thing gets. So, and the newer one requires less maintenance and it is cheaper to run, or at least that's what they tell us. We shall see if that actually is the case, but you know, it is what it is. So hold on. Where in the heck is that page? Too many colors. Well, it is what it is. Jewelry, and we do so much all the time, and you know, it's part of our business, you know. So, my favorite book, y'all know about this. If you haven't ordered one, I highly recommend, because it gives you all the colors and time and temperature information. Yes, Dawn, it is extremely hard to be in a business. So we've got Columbia blue, bright green, which in this lighting it doesn't look that bright. Magenta. This is medium pink, which more looks like a baby pink. We got fire red, I think, bright gold, athletic gold, and navy. There's more colors than that. It's just, there's more colors than that even on the website. That's just what I had sitting by my desk, so I wanted to show you. Yes, okay, so Ginger, direct to garment. So some of you may or may not know. It depends on how much you've actually watched and all that kind of stuff. This channel is based on my business, which is Cuttin Corners Vinyl. So at our store, we have 2 locations. We have a production facility, and then we have the storefront shop. So we have the production facility that does like screen printed shirts and big signs and all that kind of stuff, which we've been doing forever. And then at this facility where I'm at, we have the storefront, which is where we sell vinyl, but we also do custom jobs. So direct to garment, we have a Brother direct to garment printer that prints photo shirts or prints directly on t-shirts. So that's another thing that we do. Oh, I'll link it for you. Let me go and pull that up. It has been, I mean, just this year, I'm like, I am so done. But I am not going to say that 2021 is going to be any better because I'm not going to jinx myself. We're just not even going to talk about 2021. At this point, I'm just taking day by day and being like, hey, can we please finish out this year? I mean, that's what I'm hoping. Okay, so I'm going to link the product guide right here. It's awesome. So now I know probably most of you, and I could be wrong, don't have these kind of issues where you're looking at the expensive equipment that we have, but still, it is crazy. And it's, I mean, and like me and Mary were talking about it earlier, it was like, you know, we have to. And the thing is, like, it can probably be fixed. Here's the thing about it. The printer that we have now can probably be fixed. But the issue with it is just to have someone come out and look at it is around $2,000. Then different parts on it were the parts that they're saying probably would have to be replaced is probably another $5,000 or so. So by the time it's all said and done, there's no point in putting more money into older technology, if that makes sense. I'm all about streamlining, making things easier, faster, all that kind of stuff. Oh, hi, Simply You. Yeah, no, for us, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, y'all know, I kind of take things with in stride as much as possible. But even then, it's like, really? Really? Can things just stop happening? Donna, they are 12 by 18-inch sheets. They're big. So we like them. But yeah, no, and I know some of you have asked, like, what we're planning on. That's a sneak peek of piles of stuff for Craftsmas, too. We're going to be doing, on Monday, because tomorrow we're actually going to do a tutorial, but on Monday we're going to go over and do, because I'm still waiting on some more stuff to come in, like talk about what I ordered from Amazon for Craftsmas. And I still have to go do a Dollar Tree run because y'all know I'm obsessed with Dollar Tree when it comes to this kind of stuff. Dollar Tree is one of my favorites. And there's even more stuff sitting around. Like, my office right now is an absolute wreck. But speaking of Craftsmas, y'all ask what materials I'm going to use. I have no clue whatsoever. We've been working on a few things, but I have no idea yet what I'm going to use. So honestly, I'd recommend a little bit of everything. Or you can just order as we do. I mean, or order once a week if you're interested in doing the projects that we're doing. Because that's where I have a lot of fun. So my hair is getting very long. At least in this lighting, I feel like I look very tan. That sounds so weird. I'm a weirdo. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. And part of the thing is, like, okay, so Tuesday my husband was working on it. It, like, completely crapped out. So we're working on it. We didn't leave the office till 8 o'clock at night. And then I was like, we need to find out what's going on with it. So we called on Wednesday about it. And so whenever we called about it, we didn't get answers until this morning. So that makes things a billion times more stressful, at least for me. I mean, like, if things take time, I understand, but if we can't get answers, that's what drives me nuts. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a patient person. Not in the least little bit. I am a person who likes instant gratification. I am the world's worst. Like, I don't like surprises. I want things now, 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 now. And I am that way with everything. I mean, I am who I am. But with all that being said, it's like, I just want it to be fixed. So apparently we have to wait for it to get shipped. And the way that it works is because it's such a big machine, they're freighting it in. And if you've never had anything freighted in, it's a weird process because you have to, like, an 18-wheeler actually is going to be delivering it. So it's super expensive to have things freighted in versus regular shipping because, you know, you got to pay for the truck driver. And you have to wait. And the way that freight works a lot of times is you have to wait, unless you want to pay for the whole truck route, you have to wait till they're coming to your area with more freight. So it's not so expensive. So we got to have it freighted in. And then we have to have the installer come and install it. So hopefully, if everything goes well, fingers crossed. That looked weird doing it from the side. But fingers crossed that it will be installed next Friday. That's where I'm like hoping for. Cameron Joseph, will you grab me a Coke Zero, baby? Mama needs some more caffeine. Even though y'all are probably sitting there thinking, this lady crazy. She don't need no more caffeine. I think I need more caffeine. But yeah, anyways. Hi, Sooner fan. So what part of Oklahoma are you from? I lived in Oklahoma for a little while when I was a kid. So my crazy family, we moved a whole lot. So I lived in Henrietta, Lake Eufaula, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and Orange. And that was all within from the age of 5 to 8, I think. 7 or 8. Yes, I moved a lot.
Yeah. You can name like 12 houses in the year instead of 5 miles.
More than that. Stillwater. So I'm not sure exactly where Stillwater is. Because, I mean, again, I lived there when I was little bitty. Between the ages of 5 and 8. Kelly, I'm not sure when the pumpkin file will be up. We're uploading as fast as we can. There's so many files to upload. So it's been kind of crazy. But one thing, if you're not familiar, and it's something you can do, just so you know, even if you don't want to sign up for Patreon and keep being a patron, you can sign up for Patreon and do it for a month for like the $4 and get access to all the files that are at that level and then cancel. So you don't have to keep it, if that makes sense. We appreciate, I have a hair in my mouth. So you don't have to keep it if you don't want to, if that makes sense. We appreciate it. I mean, I love it when you do. It definitely helps with all the money I spend and stuff for craftsmiths and projects in general. That's where all of my crafting money comes from and stuff. But, you know, to me, the Patreon thing is the best deal. And you don't have to do it. You don't have, if you don't want to. I mean, like, I don't want to ever feel like y'all are being pushed into anything, if this makes sense. Like, I like to be as very open and honest with y'all as possible. But, you know, if you like my SVGs and like what I create, signing up for Patreon is going to be your best deal because they're all there. I started, like, when we first started doing Patreon, we put some SVGs there, not everything. And then we get people who complained about not having enough SVGs, so we changed it all up, and pretty much every project we do a Patreon SVG with it. Nate, what do you mean a step-by-step video? For which portion? Because I probably have one. Because there's a lot. No, actually doing like a step-by-step to sign up for Patreon, if that's what you mean. There's not really a way that I know how to do it. Oh, Nate, go check out I have a second channel. Let me link it. That is all about makeup because I love makeup, especially eyeshadow. I'm not very particular over, like, foundation and stuff like that. Most things work for me. I know it works with me. But here is my makeup channel. If you're interested, y'all can go subscribe. But I do have a lot of full step-by-step videos over there on how I create a lot of the looks. Brother Ernest, if I had the technical know-how, I'd try to build my own. But, yeah, I'm not that technologically advanced. How much was the Frozen? Which Frozen? Again, Brother Ernest, I'm not going to build one. I mean, the Frozen makeup, the eyeshadow palettes are I think are like $15, and then the whole collection really wasn't expensive. I think it was like $35 maybe. I bought it last Christmas, but they still have some of the pieces up on ColourPop's website. But yeah, no, Brother Ernest, for me, it's, you know, I want things easy and done, and I want that if things go wrong, someone else to come work on it. I mean, I ain't got time for all that. I mean, I don't know how that sounds, and I don't want it to sound bad, but I just don't have a whole lot of time in my life. I am so busy between, you know, running a business and being a mom and being a wife and having lots of animals because, you know, we live in a zoo and we cannot say no to animals. Though we did, okay, so Saturday we were at the shop. Someone found a kitten outside of work. We had to find a home for him. We called him Bean. He was adorable. He was sweet. He was a teeny little baby. And but we did find a cat rescue group, and they already found him a home because all of our animals are females, other than the fish. And I'm not sure if the fish are female or not because I don't know how to check. But we have 3 cats and 3 dogs, all of them girls. So having a boy animal, even though they're fixed, no. No, 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 no. I can imagine, Brother Ernest, and for me, and family is very important. And my kids will tell you this, like on a regular basis. We go and do things as a family all the time. Sunday, we were going to the beach as a family just to be able to get away before the whole holiday season comes to order. But I mean, today was crappier than that because of other reasons. Okay, so I've talked about this before. My husband is big into video games, like really big into video games. So he watched all the stuff yesterday that PlayStation put out. He was so excited for the PlayStation 5. They were supposed to release it today for pre-order. They, Walmart being the main person, so I'm mad at you, Walmart, released it at 6 p.m. yesterday. And they announced it on Twitter. Well, I don't really tweet. Like, I don't get on Twitter. My kids aren't really big into Twitter. And everybody else followed suit. Like Best Buy, everybody. So it was sold out before midnight. I did not get my husband a pre-order for that. And that kind of perturbs me because, like, my husband, y'all know, I've talked about him. My husband is amazing. Absolutely amazing. He takes such good care of me. He spoils me rotten. And he doesn't want a whole lot. So whenever it comes to the things that he does want, I try to do my best. And when stuff like that happens, it kind of sucks. Well, they're supposed to release some that my husband is extremely interested in, Sarah. Or at least that's what he was telling me. I have no idea. Like, he sends me pictures like of like Final Fantasy because I like to play that. But they're supposed to have like a new Spider-Man game and a new Harry Potter game, and I have no idea what else. We bought it, Brother Ernest. We buy it all. But yeah, no. Anyways, this is, so, I mean, today's been a rather frustrating day altogether. all together. I can't believe it. I mean, and we're like, what, 13? Because there's only 30 days in September. So we only have 13 days left before Christmas starts. So less than 2 weeks. Are y'all excited? Markia, we typically get the first batch. Like, always. Because, like, was it the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 4? It was the PlayStation 4 we bought. And the original console that came out was backwards compatible. And the newer ones that came out after that were not. So, that might not make sense, but backwards compatibility, and my husband's explained this and why it's important, is like for PlayStation, whenever like the PlayStation 4 came out, since the one we had was backwards compatible, it would play PlayStation 3 games and PlayStation 2 games and so on. So that way we didn't have to keep the old consoles. I mean, even though we do, because we still have like one PlayStation 3 and two PlayStation. We have the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. We have the Xbox One S. I think, how many Switches do we have in the house? Everybody in the house has a Switch, so we have like 5 Switches. We have another Xbox One. We have like crazy amounts of video game equipment. Crazy amounts. But that's like what my husband does. That is his favorite thing in the world. And, you know, now I'm kind of like, as I said, I don't know if I'm gonna have to go figure out a way to like camp at Best Buy on release day, or have to go up there and like camp out early to be able to get it. Yeah, so we'll figure it out. But I may have to be like, okay, I got to record early so I can go sleep at Best Buy for a week. Your son has asked for one? Yeah, my son wants one too. Yeah, our house is electronics overload. So, like, absolutely crazy. Maybe I should do pigtails. I don't know. But yeah, so today has been just the day. If it can, it will. If it can, it will. That's the best way to describe it. I'm just like, no. And the thing is, like, when the PlayStation 4 came out, we missed pre-order for that because you had to like go wait in line for it. So I ended up paying, like, because I think it were really originally released for $5.99. I think I ended up paying like $1,000 to get one, so that way my husband would have it for Christmas. Because yeah, even though I dislike poachers so much, I still do it because you want your family to have what they want. Hi, Latrina. Good to see you here today. But yeah, so that's kind of where we are on everything. I'm just ready for things to be calm again, like calm. But I don't know. I have no idea. Hey, I see that there are several of you in here watching. Make sure you go thumbs up the video. We need that helps with all the YouTube algorithms and stuff like that. And y'all love seeing this beautiful mug right here, so you might as well give it a thumbs up. So yeah, no. But yeah, no, we're getting ready for Christmas. That's been a big thing. I mean, crazy big, because I'm trying to be very proactive this year and get all the projects together well in advance, because let's be honest, your girl is not always the best about doing things. I can be a very procrastinator, but then there's also times where it's like, oh, I was going to do this, but I really don't feel like doing this one today, so let's do something else. So we're kind of there on everything. But yeah, Craftsmas is a chore in itself to... my nose is wanting to run. Always lovely. But yeah, Craftsmas is always such a big thing anyway. We love doing it, don't get me wrong. It's just, but I think it'll be better this year. I'm excited for it because I think it will be not as hectic, since I've decided to swap it down from 7 days a week to 5 days a week, because 7 days a week was just too much, especially with everything that happened at Christmas time last year. So I want to have things filmed well in advance and prepared, so that way we're completely ready to go for the holiday season. And to me, like, I love September. I mean, let's face it, it's the school's in, kids are gone. Well, not mine because we're doing virtual. Yeah, did you hear Cameron? He goes, haha, you can't get rid of me. No, I don't want to get rid of him anyway. We've gotten cases. We've been back in school for like a week and there are already like 5 cases at our school. So, you know, we ain't messing with that. But, you know, to me, October the 1st, even though like September is when I start to prepare for holiday season, October the 1st is like, to me, the start of the crazy. The craziness starts October the 1st. And maybe y'all feel differently, but absolutely manic. And I'm really wanting it to be a whole lot of fun this year. Like, I'm definitely been planning a lot of different projects. I mean, you can't really see everything, but there's stuff. All your puppies are girls too, Polly? Well, and that's how I am. Like, one thing, and this might sound wrong. Boy dogs, boy cats spray. Even when they're, well, unless you get them fixed when they're really young. But if you get one that's older, they spray everything, you know. And boy cat does not smell nice. And boy dogs hike. They lift their leg and like to go TT on things. And we do not like that. You know, at least whenever a girl dog does it, they just make a puddle on the floor. It doesn't get all over everything. Yeah, Rhonda, it's not a nice number. 25,000 is never a fun number to spend, especially on stuff like this. It's like never, ever a fun number. Like, to me, that is like outrageous. But you do what you do. I'm glad you were able to make it today, Stacy. But yeah, no. As I said, we're trying to make Christmas extremely fun this year. I mean, because this year has sucked. Plain and simple. 2020 is a dumpster fire of a year. I mean, it is the worst year ever. I mean, maybe for some it's the other years have been worse, but for me personally, like, I'm just done. But yeah, no. So I want Craftsmas to be like a fun oasis. You know, I like it to be like whenever we do this kind of thing. I don't find myself to really be funny, but I think I can be a little entertaining. I don't know, maybe. But you know, I want like this. I like it to feel like we're just talking amongst friends. You know, this is how I talk to everybody. Sometimes a little snarky, but you know, that's me in general. So I wanted to make, you know, Craftsmas a whole lot of fun. Now, as a reminder of how Craftsmas works, because I know this, we're going to get this a lot. Craftsmas is not full-blown tutorials. Let's just put that out there. I get people who are like, well, why don't you weed? Why don't you cut? Why don't you show this? One, because I have hundreds of videos on this channel that show how to cut, show how to weed, that I have full-blown processes of how to do all this. This is more about the projects and projects inspiration. So that way you get ideas. Whether if you want to recreate the exact same thing I do, come on, girl, go ahead. Get on with your bad stuff. You know what I mean? Let's do this. But if you want just inspiration, it's great for that too. Because you may not be like me, who's like loves horror movies and glitter. You know, I'm kind of all over the place. You know, I'm not a person that just stays in her lane, I guess is the best way to say it. So we like to have a wide variety of things. But I want it to be, you know, I want there to be gifts for, you know, Papa who loves to fish, or you know what I mean? Thank you, Colleen. I try my best. I may not be the best, but maybe I can think that I am, or at least you guys make me feel like I am. But yeah, no, that's just kind of where we are on Craftsmas. Just so y'all know, because one, trying to edit, even though I really don't do much editing, but trying to edit a video that has like 6 segments in it on a regular basis, I can do for the regular channel. You know, like, 'cause I'm only doing 3 videos a week and not all of them have that. But trying to do that 5 days a week, plus run a second channel, plus run a business, plus deal with kids and all that kind of crud, it's like, no, sir, that ain't gonna happen. I'm your southern neighbor. You can borrow a cup of sugar anytime. But, you know. I'll tell y'all this, I might be the weirdest southerner ever. And because I don't drink sweet tea at all. I'm not a big fan of sweet tea. I know that's sacrilege in the South, but Coke and Coke Zero are my favorites. I can loan you some tinfoil, Stacy. Oh, Sherry, my direct to garment broke. It's bad. It's very bad. Pray for me, y'all. It's bad. My kids know, like, whenever I start pacing and I'm like, start to get the angry voice, they're like, okay, just chill. Chill, pickle. That's one thing I tell my kids all the time. But I'm not a chill person in the least little bit. I'm really not. I try to be, but I'm like I'm very high strung. I'm gonna die from a heart attack because I'm so stressed all the time. You went through Henrietta. They have Burger King. Okay, so let's talk about Henrietta. As I said, I lived in Henrietta. That was the town I lived the longest in Oklahoma. So I went to kindergarten in Henrietta and part of first grade. So this town back then, I think it had 1,700 people. So to tell you the difference, and I think we live in a small town now, is 17,000 people live here. And Henrietta had like 1,700. It's tiny. So the school was small enough that we had a small, like, separate building for kindergartners. And then every other grade went to the same school. So that's first grade through high school senior in one school building because there wasn't enough kids for anything else. I think every grade only had one class. It was that tiny. So, yes. And there was fun stuff about Oklahoma. Oklahoma has snow, but it's very flat, and tornadoes are terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. That's why I don't want to live where there's tornadoes all the time. So, that is what it is. Okay, let's see what everybody else is saying. You're high-strung too, Stacy? Rhonda, you prefer what you have in your hand? Don't know what you mean. Yeah, I do like to show how to fix mistakes because, heck, we all do it. Doesn't matter if you're a supposed expert like me. I ain't no expert. I mean, I've been doing it a long time, but I still make mistakes. Lord knows I've been doing it forever. But that being said, I can show you how to get yourself out of a jam. Oh, Coke? Me too. Coke Zero. Like, okay, so since I'm doing keto and Coke's regular Coca-Cola Classic is so bad for you, I have to do Coke Zero. Can't stand Diet Coke in the least little bit. I don't know who invented that, but it's trash. Absolute trash. Okay, so Jana, our tutorials are all on YouTube. So on this channel, if you click on the Cuttin Corners thing, you'll be able to go and see our page, and there are a ton, and you can search for it. So hopefully that helps you. And we have playlists, which I need to organize more. If it has more than one stoplight, the town's too big, John. Oh my goodness. Like, so Nederland would be too big for you. Which is kind of crazy to me because I feel like this is like so small. But I want to live somewhere that's a little bit bigger. Stacy, I know how you feel. I mean, I don't drink a whole lot of those, but I mean, I try to drink less than 2 of them a day. Dawn, I have some videos on how to do print and cut. So if you check in the playlist for whatever machine, it should be there. You're too big. Your town's too big too, huh, Stacy? You don't die with only 2? Yeah, no, I think, let's see, one on the Boston Avenue, which is where my shop is. There's one at the corner. I think there's 2 on this road alone. So 2 or 3. No, it's 3. Maybe. It's either 2 or 3.
We have 2 and we have 1 stop sign.
We have 2 and a stop sign, Nadia just said. No, they did not have a Walmart when I lived there. There was no Walmart. Yeah, see, I miss regular Coke, but the thing is, once you start getting used to this and you go to drink a regular Coke, it's like, ooh, all this sugar, way too much sugar. But I do enjoy a Coke Zero. I need the caffeine, to make me even more high strung. To make me even more hyper. Okay, so I did finish off my candle that I was burning, the Vampire Blood one, I think is what it was called. So, and I don't know if I showed y'all this last time because I don't remember if I was burning it. So now I'm on to my Ghoul Friend candle from Bath and Body Works, which looks like this. Isn't that the cutest thing? I love candles. Love candles. I love that they help. Like, to me, they feel like they're relaxing. And that's part of the reason why I get the Magic Candle Company subscription. Plus, that reminds me of Disney, which I miss tremendously. Let's see. What does this smell like? It smells like flowers. Yeah. It has like a floral scent. And it doesn't say what the notes or anything are in this. But you know how when you walk into a flower shop, that's what it reminds me of. It's like very sweet and florally. But I'm not a picky girl when it comes to candles. I like just about anything. But some of my favorite scents are... Yeah, I know. Hopefully they'll do something like that, Stacy, because that would be nice. Or to taste, because I love food. But yeah, no. Like my favorite kind of scents are clean laundry. Like I love any kind of candle that smells like clean laundry. And I love baby powder. There was a candle company that was located here in Nederland. They closed a while back, but it was the Candle Cottage. And she made a candle that smelled like baby powder. And it sounds like a weird thing, but it was just that nice, really sweet, clean smell. So good. And then she also did what was it? Blueberry something, and it smelled delicious too. It smelled just like blueberry. It wasn't blueberry pancakes, but it smelled like blueberry pancakes or blueberry muffins baking, which I don't know about y'all, but some of my favorite things, like whenever I'm at home when I'm not on keto, like the smell of cupcakes and sweets like that cooking are just so delicious. Linen Beach, Texas Storm. Now, I do love the smell of beach, but not Texas beaches, or at least where we live. They're terrible. They stink. Our water's gross. Like, we're going to the beach this weekend, and I'm like, I ain't getting in that. It looks like mud. Because we're on the dirty side of the Gulf, and y'all are on the dirty side of the Mississippi. So where we're at, we're close enough where that's where the Gulf is. All right, where the Mississippi is, our water's brown. Like when you get further down the Texas coast, like South Padre and Corpus Christi and stuff like that, they have beautiful beaches. But where we're at, no. We got brown water. The sand ain't pretty. It ain't comfortable, but it's something to do. So it's not at all like whenever my husband and I lived in California, or when we lived in Pensacola. Pensacola, the best beaches ever. So the thing is with Pensacola. And the thing that I like about Gulf beaches, so anything that's on the Gulf side of the ocean, like Pensacola, Mobile, Alabama, that kind of thing, is they have beautiful blue water, or the Emerald Coast is what they call it. So it's more of like a green water with white sand beaches. The thing is, whenever you're on like the Atlantic side or the Pacific side, is that because the whole ocean is there, because the Gulf is kind of cut off from the rest of the ocean, so it's warm water. If you go to like the Atlantic, like Jacksonville area, or if you're in California, like Pismo Beach or stuff like that, the water's not warm. It's cold, or at least what I think of as cold water. So it's not fun for me. Like whenever I was a kid, before I had like went to California and stuff like that, I used to wonder why people wore wetsuits on the beach, because I was only experienced with Texas beaches. Even though we moved a lot, we didn't go do anything as a family. So I was like, why do people wear wetsuits? The water's warm. That seems silly to sit there and wear something like that, because I would be sweat. That would not be fun. You get chafe. That ain't cute. So wetsuits, no thank you. I was like, why do people need wetsuits? Well, come to find out, it was because the water is like 40 freaking degrees. Latrina, we are going to be doing lots of projects. We have some, we always do kid projects. So it depends on how young you're looking for. But I do have several baby project videos as well. Yeah, South Padre is pretty, but where we're at is not. Hi, Day and Jay, Todd. Yeah, no, chafe. Chub rub. That's what me and Cameron call it. We're fighting the chub rub every time we go walk in the mornings. It ain't cute, it ain't funny, and it ain't pretty. Thank you, Stacy. I'm going to be doing, like, especially now, we're going to add in a lot more intricate designs, because those are my favorite stuff to do. Like, I love stuff that's a little bit more complex. I want things to teach you the things that you're not going to see everywhere else, and how to work with different materials, because not everybody's going to show you that. And a lot of people don't tell you everything that you need to know. I talk like that. I know what other crafting channels do, but let me tell you, I don't watch crafting videos ever. Like, ever. I probably should, but I don't. If I'm watching YouTube, it is makeup videos. And, can you tell I like makeup? And the people I like to watch as far as that goes is I like Angelica Nyquist, Karen Harris, Annette's Makeup Corner, Amy Loves Makeup, Katie Marie. There's so many that are so good, that do lots of colorful looks, and just are people that I like to watch. Britt Clark, absolutely amazing. Hi, Trish from Orlando. But yeah, no, I like the complex stuff, because that's the kind of things, that's what's fun for me. Doing simple one color stuff, I get bored with. I pay people to do that kind of stuff. Yes, Latrina, check out some, because we've done like milestone blankets, baby bibs. We've done all kinds of baby stuff. All kinds. Because I know lots of people who are having babies and have had babies since I've done this, and me is not one of them. So don't get y'all's hopes up. There will not be another baby Gocher. Nadia just giggled. Let me tell you something. I am almost through. I have count them, 2 adult children now. So I have a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old. And my baby is 13. I'm almost done. Well, yeah, and when grandbabies come, I will love them. But I can love them from a distance. They can come over, I can love on them, and then I can send them home. I don't have to feed them at all. I'm not sitting there paying their bills. No. Nadia not even thinking about babies in any point.
Yeah, don't worry about grandkids.
Nadia goes, and don't bring up grandkids. She don't want y'all to get any ideas. Well, Stacy, I think I will be a fun grandma. I always joke with the kids, like whenever they have kids, I want to be called Bebe. Because, Bebe's kids, they're bad. So, because my grandbabies are going to be spoiled. Hi, Mike from Epoch Threads, custom t-shirts and gift from Cleveland, Ohio. I just started watching Hot in Cleveland. If y'all don't love Betty White, or if you do love Betty White and haven't seen that, you need to watch it. It's hilarious. I love Betty White. She's one of my favorite actresses of all times. Awesome. But yeah, no, whenever I have grandbabies, it's going to be Bebe. So, but yeah, no, and I'm not much of a comedy person, but sometimes I like a mindless sitcom to run in the background when I'm doing stuff because I don't want to have to think. That's just kind of how I am. But I also love home shows. Like, I love watching, like, House Hunter Vacation or House Hunters International. I love stuff like that. I like to see what things cost because a lot of times when I'm like, oh my goodness, you paid that much for that house? Yeah, that's not okay. Like, real estate in other areas is pricey. Like, New York, there's, 2,000 square foot house in New York City. You know how much that thing would cost? I wish there was a way for me to just transport it and move it and then be able to make money off of it. That would be wonderful. So you got 4 pretty much daydreams. See, that's how I want to be. Like, I want to come. I want to love. I mean, I know I'm going to be there for everything. But I just don't want any more babies. It's like I told my husband. And, I'm not that old. Nadia was born when we were 17. We were babies. We were teenagers. We have never had a real time in our life since being married, or really even since being together, that we didn't have children. So we're looking forward to a small time period where we can be a couple, you know what I mean? Like, to have that together. Oh, Stacy, I'm a big true crime watcher. Like, I love me some murder mysteries. Serial killers are my jam. I love watching things about serial killers, and that might sound creepy, but Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy, you name it. I've watched a documentary over all of them because it's fascinating. What's even more fascinating to me than the killers themselves are the people who like to write them letters in prison and who are like, I know you didn't do it, even though you confessed to the crime and showed people where the bodies were buried, but I'll have your babies. And I'm like, hold up. Wait, what are you saying? Like, huh? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? I'm not going to sit there and write letters to a man in prison. Sorry. There's plenty of people you can find that are just as crazy on, like, Tinder and stuff like that. I can imagine, Mike, whenever they get moved out. Nadia hasn't moved out yet. And we're not rushing her to. Oh, yeah, we're marrying them. It's kind of like, okay, so y'all know Ted Bundy. Crazy guy. Did all kinds of stuff. He married and had a baby while he was on death row. Death row. And confessed. And his wife, who now, like, divorced him and stuff like that after he started confessing or whatever, even with all the evidence, like the bite mark stuff and all that, was like, he's innocent. Honey, if your husband, everywhere he goes, dead bodies show up, there's probably an issue. Just saying. Yeah, Stacy, he was really good at manipulating people. I don't know. I mean, like, and the things that he did, like, he was in politics and stuff like that. I'm like, or he worked on campaigns. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I just don't understand that, man. And I can understand, like, wives not knowing everything. And that's one thing I tell people all the time. It's like, you have no idea who you're with. The people can change, and people are good at keeping secrets. If they weren't, all these women who find out years later that their husbands were serial killers or serial rapists or anything like that, you would know. But let's face it, women are busy. We're taking care of kids and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, how are we supposed to know? We got 20,000 other things on our plate. I ain't paying attention to everything that he does. I need to look into, I don't really listen to a lot of podcasts, but my favorite person to really watch most of the time is Bailey Sarian. She does makeup. She does murder, mystery, and makeup Mondays. Absolutely amazing. She sits there and puts on her face, which is, you can tell I'm from the South when I say she puts on her face. But she puts on her face and talks about true crime, and it is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, see, Dee, I can imagine that. You know, you're ready for them to kind of spread their wings. Yes, close to the press. I mean, there's like so much. There was a shirt that I saw, and it was like, I can't remember what it said, but it was funny. But yeah, no, I watch a lot of that stuff too. I mean, my husband's always at home, so I'm not like worried about him doing things. But I mean, like if your husband's a traveling shoe salesman, how are you supposed to know everything that they're doing? I mean, I don't know if are there traveling salesmen anymore? You know, because like when I was a kid and stuff like that, I remember, I don't see it much now, but I remember people like going door to door selling like Avon or vacuum cleaners or whatever. People still do that? Like, I don't know. So, but yeah, y'all can see my crazy now. See, and that's part of the reason why I love lives. This is the reason why I love this is y'all get to really see. I mean, like on camera, I'm like, hey, you know, here is where you get to see my real personality and who I am. Because I'm a little bit more outlandish than most people think. But yeah, no, I have had a bad day. Very bad day. I need to look at that. Okay, I'll definitely check out the Draper Brothers, Colleen. But yeah, no. As I said, especially serial killers. That's fascinating to me. Like all murder maps. Like I want to know everything. And like whenever you get like serial killer couples. How does that even work? Like if my husband came up to me and was like, "Hey, honey, you want to kill someone together?" I'm like, what? Nope. If you like Ed Kemper and stuff like that, Colleen, Mindhunter on Netflix, it was so good. Like, how do you even approach someone like that? Like, oh, I will go to watch Forensic Files to go to sleep. I'm bad. My husband, like, he always tells people she knows how to bury a body. She knows how to get rid of one. So, but you know, like serial killer couples, that is really weird to me. Maybe I'm wrong in like thinking that, but to me, how do you get to that point? Like, I mean, because we know most serial killers are white men in their 30s. 25 to 35, I think, is like the ideal age. So, how do you find someone that's just as crazy and creepy as you are? You know, I just don't understand it in the least little bit. Diamonds, you did just fine, and you can always watch it on replay because we save these and they go up. Because we are fixing to end it because it is almost 6:00 and it has been a day. The longest day ever. So, well, see, I think that serial killer, well, I don't know, because like when people travel around and are vagrants, it is very easy to hide bodies. I've learned that because people don't. Oh, good. I'm glad you were able to get your order. But I don't. So they're harder to connect the dots. But with the advancement in technology between DNA, fingerprints, all that kind of stuff, and things being intertwined, that it makes it a little bit easier to catch people, hopefully. But, you know, back in the heyday, they didn't, you know, if you haven't committed a crime, then your stuff ain't in the system. So how do they know? Yes, And, the people that go missing when it comes to that kind of thing, or, the people that no one ever notices go missing for the most part, and then it's so bad. Let's see, the one that was not the Green River Killer. There are so many that have done that type of thing. We had a guy, there was a Hispanic man that the railway killer or something, and he was a hobo. I don't know if that's the wrong word to use, but he rode the trains, and that's how he would kill people. So it was kind of weird. And he killed someone in Beaumont, which isn't far from me, so that was weird. But yeah, Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. He was kind of crazy too. But a lot of his problems came from his uncle who went through Vietnam and like messed him up because he watched his uncle kill his wife or something. So kind of crazy. But yeah, we're going to cut this off now. If y'all want to continue talking about serial killers, remember that we can talk about it again next Tuesday. Just remind me what y'all want to talk about, because I can talk about it all day long. But I guess that's it. So we shall see y'all. Oh, Flock is on sale this week. Colleen, if I had time for a third channel, I would do a third channel. I would do just like a live channel, because I actually really do love doing lives. Love doing lives. This is like my favorite kind of thing. But guess that's it. We shall see y'all tomorrow. We have a new tutorial. It'll be so fun. The SVG is adorable. And it'll be on Patreon, just so y'all know. But I guess that's it. We will see y'all later. Bye. True crime and cooking.